To be loved, appreciated, and understood. I'm going to share with you the 4 keys to stop being weird. Lock in. Abraham Maslow, a psychologist from the 1900s, he created a pyramid explaining what humans truly need to exist. And at the bottom, survival, food, water, shelter. Next is safety, like physical security, financial stability. And then number 3, love and belonging. And that's what we're diving into today. Maslow broke love and belonging into 3 core pieces. Number 1 being emotional connection, which is just feeling understood. Number 2 is belonging, which is like being part of a tribe or a group. And then number 3 is love. And this encompasses both given and received. But what do all 3 of these have in common? Great question. They all require social skills. Think about it. How do you meet somebody new without social skills? How do you get close enough to form a genuine emotional connection without social skills? Wow. Apparently, I don't have social skills. How do you belong to a group if you don't understand the social dynamics? And how do you give or receive love if you don't know how to express yourself? These are real big questions, and that's why I've recently realized that social maxing might be meta, man. Okay, but you might be asking yourself, why would I take how to not be a weirdo from you? Great question, future liker and subscriber. Picture this: a scrawny, socially inept high schooler, kind of handsome, but he had a lot of things going against him. Yeah, that's me. Younger than everyone else in class, and I acted just like it. Never invited anywhere. Every joke was at my expense. I was funny to everyone. Like, you know what I mean? There are some people that you can make jokes of, and even some of the girls are like, stop making fun of him. Leave him alone. I was one of those dudes that if somebody was trolling me, everybody was laughing. Like, people was adding on to the jokes, all type of stuff. The nicknames I had were egregious. The bald eagle, African booty scratcher, you name it. They was calling me that. I was one of those guys where if I approached a group of people that I deemed at that time cool, sitting around having a conversation, they would all turn and look at me like, get a load of this dude. Like, what are you even coming over here for? And I know I was weird. And the worst part is there wasn't much I could do about it. Once people labeled me, their perception of me being a weirdo stuck. Here's the turning point. This story has a little bit of a bright side. Due to a series of unfortunate events, well, actually, now that I look back at it, series of fortunate events, I found myself in a completely new environment. New people, new basketball team, new high school. Blank slate. And suddenly, nobody had pre-decided who I was or what my value was. For the first time, I could craft who I wanted to be. I felt like one of those anime dudes where the protagonist gets reincarnated and they were a loser in their old life, but now they're overly raw and they get to be what they wish they could have been in their past life. That's how I really felt. And I didn't waste it. I consciously decided I'm going to build the version of myself I want people to see. And by the time I graduated, I was widely regarded as cool. At least I think so. Or at least more popular than I ever had been. And that's one of the 4 steps or 4 keys to stop being weird. The number 1 is change your environment. A wise man once said, doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity. It might have been Albert Einstein, but me and him, we really the same for real, but so if you're in the same places with the same people who don't accept you, maybe it's time for a change. People will cling to the images in their head that they've built for you, and that can be discouraging and oftentimes impossible to overcome. But on the other hand, new people, even if it's uncomfortable, give you control over how you present yourself. And you can do this in a myriad of ways. This could be as simple as joining a new club, hitting a new gym, or start a hobby where you gotta be somewhere like a run club or something. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be a ton of different things. But the second key to stop being weird is decide you want to change. Most people won't encourage you. Like, might be a path you have to walk by yourself because they are comfortable with who they perceive you to be. But it's up to you to ask yourself, why should their comfort matter more to me than my own growth? At some point, I had to consciously choose to change, even if it felt out of character, even when I experienced some pushback. Some people will resist your transformation. They'd be like,
Nah, you can't switch up. We used to do this all the time.
bro, I don't do that no more. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, we used to do this like,
Bruh. And they start trying to troll you for trying to improve yourself and improve your life. Some people will resist that, and that's fine. They weren't meant to be a part of the new you know what I'm saying? But number 3, fake it till you make it. How do I become confident? How do I know what to say? How do I get over my fear of rejection? All great questions, British me. And I face these too. And the solution is do it scared. Ask yourself, what would a confident person do in this moment? How would they hold themselves? Or how would they react? Then act that way repeatedly over time until it becomes burned into your brain meat, until it becomes second nature. You'll learn that rejection isn't catastrophic and your confidence grows naturally. I remember one time I was at the library, and this was when I was a little kid. And I was so scared of asking the librarian for assistance. And I'm like, geez, cuz I'm just trying to find the Geronimo Stilton books. I'm just trying to read a little bit of, you feel me, Fancy Nancy. You know what I mean? I was on that. I'm trying to read the Hardy Boys. You know what I mean? But I couldn't find those books for the life of me. And I was so terrified to ask the librarian because I felt that she was finna overly treat me because she just looked mean. But, and after I finally worked up the courage to be like, excuse me, ma'am, where's the fiction books? And she was actually turned out to be smooth, nice. And she showed me where the books was, and I realized, man, I was over here overly gassing that up in my head, and wasn't even that bad. Now, granted, that's a pretty small and insignificant type of thing, but it was big for me. But that's the way I put it into practice. I'd start conversations awkwardly at first, but after a few try and a few rejections, I realized that people responded better than the situations my mind had made up. And that realization alone fuels confidence. And number 4, the fourth key, and this one's tricky, but people can feel how you see yourself. Body language, tone, the way you carry yourself, all of it screams your self worth, and others respond accordingly. I'd rather slightly overvalue myself than undervalue myself. It changes how people treat you. Sometimes in ways that almost feels like it's magic, like you're cheating. Like the halo effect is so real. Think about it. Two people can say the exact same sentence, but the way they deliver it completely changes how it's received. Confidence in your voice makes a simple statement sound like a fact, not a question. Are we going out? Versus, yo, we going out? It's like when like the first dude asked like, am I coming too? And then the second dude, which was also me, you feel me? Yeah. But the second dude was like, when are we going? You know what I'm saying? And the difference is just in the cadence. Like a hesitation or a nervous tone can make a smart idea sound weak or unsure. For example, can you like and subscribe? Versus, can you like and subscribe the video? And I know I said some extra words, but you get what I'm trying to say. Your body language, your tone, and your energy send a message about your self-value, sometimes louder than the words you're saying itself. Like I remember one time, and I'm guilty, I'm not gonna lie, I'm low-key the villain in this story. But I was sitting at the lunch table in college with a couple of my friends, and there was this dude who was, I'm not gonna lie, he was low-key kind of a lame, but just because of the way he carried himself. And we were all talking and he said a joke and I was like, and I laughed and I was like, because that was low-key kind of funny, but no one else heard him or they didn't acknowledge him. So I'm not gonna lie, I was feeling mischievous. I stole his joke and just said it again more confidently and loudly. Tell me why everybody starts laughing. All the tables around us start looking over, looking at me like I'm the funniest dude in the world, all type of stuff. And all I did was just repeat his joke with more confidence. But when you believe in yourself, it shows up naturally in your delivery. And people pick it up. People pick up on that because, and they subconsciously adjust how they respond to you. On the opposite side, if you downplay yourself, mumble, or apologize too much, your good ideas could get overlooked. And this isn't just about not being weird, it's about answering the core human question: do I belong? Which, spoiler alert, the answer is yes. Everyone at some point or another has asked themselves this question, and most still don't know the answer. And the truth of the matter is, we go through life seeking approval from people who probably don't even approve of themselves. And the way to break out of this loop is to find the approval you're seeking from within. I like anime, I play Valorant, and I like creating YouTube videos. And that doesn't make me a weirdo because I've already accepted myself for who I am and give myself the proper approval. But changing your environment, deciding to grow, practicing confidence, and valuing yourself all lead back to connection, acceptance, and genuine belonging. But if you've resonated with this video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel, comment your favorite part, and share this with your weird homie. It's all out of love though. But this is E. Peace.